Hello students, today we are continuing with biology class 12th new syllabus chapter number 6 part 2. Okay, plant water relation part 2, that means it is the second lecture of this chapter, that is plant water relations. In this chapter, in our last lecture, we have studied introduction and we have studied the properties of water molecule. So let's move further today. Today we are going to study about water absorbing organ. Okay, we are going to study about water absorbing organ. Now everybody, you can see this diagram that is there on the slide. Okay, water absorbing organ, the organ that absorbs water, that means roots. Okay, you can see this diagram, which is the water absorbing organ. Roots are the water absorbing organ. Root is the main organ of water and mineral absorption. We can say that roots are the main organ of water and mineral absorption. Both water and mineral are absorbed by roots. In terrestrial plant absorb water in the form of liquid from the soil. Okay, in the terrestrial plant, that means the plants that are present on lands. In those terrestrial plants are absorbing water in the form of liquid from the soil. Okay, next is in epiphytic plant. Now what do you mean by epiphytic plant? Epiphytic plant means the plants which grows on the other plant. In epiphytic plants, plants like orchids absorb water vapor from air with the help of epiphytic roots. And these epiphytic roots have a special tissue that is called velamen. And with the help of this velamen tissue, they absorb the water from the air. Okay, in the form of water vapor. It is because epiphytic plants are present on some other plants. So, these epiphytic plants are growing on the other plants. So, they cannot grow their roots deep in the soil. So, what they are doing, they are growing their roots outside the plant in the air, and they absorb from there water vapor in the form of air, and that is done with the help of special epiphytic roots, and that are called as velamen tissue. Okay. Now let us study the different zones of root. Typical root is divisible into 4 different regions. You can see here the root cap, meristematic region, zone of elongation, root hair zone, maturation zone. 4 regions are there, 4 zones are there. Meristematic region, zone of elongation, root hair zone, maturation zone. These root hair zones are having root hairs on it. Okay, this is also called as region of absorption. This region, especially in roots, are doing the work of absorption. They absorb the water. All these root hairs absorb the water. They increase the surface area for absorption of water. So 4 regions, I repeat, meristematic region, zone of elongation, root hair zone, maturation zone. Okay, root hair zone, maturation zone. Now, moving further, we will study in detail about the root hairs. Okay, what are root hairs? You have seen here in the diagram, these are known as root hairs. Okay, now definition is, in the zone of absorption, epidermal cells, that is epiblema cells, form unicellular hair-like extensions, and that are called as root hairs. Okay, see here, unicellular means single celled, hair-like extensions from the epiblema cell, above layer cells. Epiblema cells means above layer cells. Okay, such unicellular cells are called as root hairs. Now we will study the structure of root hair. This is one root hair, students. Okay, here we will study the structure of each single root hair in detail. Root hair is cytoplasmic extension of epiblema cells. we can say that it is the cytoplasmic extension of epiblema cell. Each root hair may be approximately 1 to 10 mm long and tube-like structure. You can see here the size of root hair is 1 to 10 mm long and it is tubular in shape. The shape is tubular. You can see this in the diagram. The size of single root hair, each root hair is 1 to 10 mm, 1 to 10 millimeter long, and the shape of root hair is, it is tubular in shape. Okay, it is colorless, unbranched, short-lived and very delicate. You can see here that root hair is having no color, no branches are present here. Okay, and it is very delicate and short-lived. That means they don't have more lifespan. They easily degrade. Okay. Root hairs are colorless, unbranched, short-lived and very delicate. It has large central vacuole that is surrounded by a thin film of cytoplasm, plasma membrane and a thin cell wall which is two-layered. See here, it is having a large central vacuole. This is the vacuole region. Very large vacuole is present. Surrounding this vacuole is cytoplasm. You can see here cytoplasm, cell membrane also known as plasma membrane, and cell wall. This cell wall is divided into two layers. Okay, cell wall is divided into two layers. The outer layer is made up of pectin and inner layer is made up of cellulose. Okay, that two walls are made up of two layered cell wall is made up of, outer layer is made up of pectin and inner layer is made up of cellulose. This cell wall is freely permeable, but plasma membrane is selectively permeable. You can see here, cell wall is freely permeable. That means it allows everything to get inside this membrane. It allows everything. It is freely permeable. That means it allows everything. It does not stop anything to get inside it. But the plasma membrane, that the second layer that is present, it is selectively permeable. It won't allow anything to get inside the root hairs. Okay, it will select, it will allow only few things, selective things to get inside the root hairs. Okay, so it is known as cell wall is freely permeable and cell membrane that or plasma membrane is selectively permeable. Okay, so I repeat here the structure of root hair. Each root hair, students, is the cytoplasmic extension. You can see here cytoplasmic extension. Okay, it is the cytoplasmic extension. Each root hair is 1 to 10 mm in length and tubular in shape. Okay, tubular in shape. Root hairs are having it is colorless, unbranched. Okay, you can see there is no color, no branches, very delicate and very short-lived. Very delicate and very short-lived. Okay, their lifespan is very, very small. Okay, then it is having a large central vacuole which is surrounded by cell membrane and plasma membrane. Okay, and cytoplasm. Now, this cell wall layer is two layered. Okay, it is having two layers, outer layer, inner layer. Outer layer is made up of pectin and inner layer is made up of cellulose. Now, the cell membrane, cell wall is freely permeable to what? Permeable, but plasma membrane, definitely mostly it is permeable to water only, because water is only going to get inside the roots. So, cell wall is freely permeable. That means it allows all the water, all the particles surrounding it to get inside this roots. But plasma membrane, that is here, okay, plasma membrane, cell membrane is selectively permeable. That means it won't allow all the amount of water and all the minerals and food, nutrition to get inside the roots. It will select the things and then it will allow them to get inside the roots. So it is known as selectively permeable. Selective things are going to get inside the roots. Okay. So cell wall is freely permeable, but cell membrane या plasma membrane is selectively permeable. So that's all with today's topic. Thank you, students. We will continue this chapter in our next lecture.